Hey guys, today we're going to work on multiplying decimals. There are two ways to do this. Alright, one way to solve it is using your estimate, then solving as if we were multiplying whole numbers, and then use the estimate to place the decimal. Let's say the first problem is 3 7/10 times 5/10. Our estimate, I know that 3 7/10 is pretty close to 4. I know that 5/10 is pretty close to a whole. So my estimate's going to be 4 times 1 equals 4. Now I go ahead and solve this as if they are whole numbers. So I'm going to take 37 times 5. 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 3 more is 18. Okay. My answer is going to be close to 4. So I'm going to have to place my decimal somewhere in the answer that will give me a number close to 4. So I put it here, that's less than 1, that's not close. Here is close to 2, that's pretty close to 4. Here, 18, that's not really close. So my answer would go right there. Which means 3 7/10 times 5/10 is 1 85/100. Right, let's say 27 3/10 times 2 5/10. So again, I make my estimate first. 27 3/10 is pretty close to 30. 2 5/10 is pretty close to 3. 3 times 3 equals 9. Add my 0. So I know my answer is going to be close to 90. Now I'm going to go ahead and solve this as if there were no decimals. So I'm going to take 273 times 25. Okay, draw my little turtle head. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 7, 35, plus 1, 36. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13. Okay, that was the turtle head. Give the turtle a collar. Turtle lays an egg. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. Then I'm going to add 5, 12, 8, 6. Now my estimate told me that my answer is going to have to be close to 90. We put that there, that's less than 1. 6, that's not close to 90. 68, pretty close to 90. 682, not really close. My decimal goes there, which means 27 3/10 times 2 5/10 is 68 25/100. Alright, this next way is to solve these is to multiply them, but first multiply by powers of 10. So if I'm going to make this a whole number, if I'm going to make 8 3/10 a whole number, I'm going to multiply by 10 to the first power, which equals 83. So I move my decimal one spot to the right. And then I'm going to do the same with 2 1/10. So 2 1/10 times 10 to the first power. So I can make my decimal into a whole number. I'm moving that one place to the right. That'll leave me with 21. Now the next step is to multiply these two together. So I'm going to do that using the regular multiplication. 83 times 21. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 8 is 8. 0. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 8 is 16. I'm going to add those together. 6 times 8. 6 plus 8 is 14. Carry the 1. 7, 1. So when I multiply these two numbers together, I get 1,743. However, that is not the answer, because now I have to take that 1,743 and move my decimal 2 times to the left. Okay, because I have this power 10 and this power 10. So now I'm going to divide that by 10 to the second power. So I'm going to move it 2 times to the left to get an answer of 17 43/100. I'll repeat those steps for you. First, we multiply the decimals by powers of 10 to make a whole number. Then we multiply whole numbers Then we divide the answer by a power of 10. Alright, let's say we're solving 189 times 6 to the 10th power. First step, multiply that by a power of 10 to make it a whole number. So I'm going to take 189 and 6/10 times 10 to the first power, because it's just one number behind the decimal. And that will give me 1,896, because I just moved the decimal one spot. Now I'm going to work with my other number, 1500ths times 10. On this one, I'm going to have to move 2 spots to make it a whole number. So times 10 to the second power, and that equals 15. Now the next step is to multiply those two whole numbers. So I'm going to take 1,896 times 15. Times 15. 6 times 5 is 30, 45, 48. Cross it out, turtle lays an egg, go next door. Next step is to add. So now I have the answer, 28,440. Not quite done yet. Right now my decimal is at the end of that number. But now I have to divide the answer by the powers of 10. Well, so far I have 1, 2, and 3 powers of 10. So I'm going to have to take this divided by 10 to the third power. Again, I divide that by 10 to the third power because I have 1, 2, 3 exponents. So now I'm going to move my decimal to the left 3 places, which means my answer is 28 and 44 hundredths.